And it is time we remember both the good and the bad in understanding how the internet becomes the society we will live. So here are 3 places to remember it. In the context of copyright, in the context of journalism, and in the context of the increasing push for transparency throughout society. First with copyright. There's good in the contribution that the internet has made to the creative industries of the world. The internet has pushed innovation, and that innovation has created enormous diversity in the culture that's accessible to people everywhere. Professional diversity, as my colleague Chris Anderson describes, through the dynamic of the long tail, the internet enables a much wider range of commercial culture to succeed than it could before. But it also enables amateur cultural creativity. And by amateur, I don't mean amateurish. I mean people who create for the love of the art and not for the money. The importance of amateur creativity was an obsessive concern of this professional creator, John Philip Sousa, who in 1906 traveled to the United States Congress to talk about the scourge of the industry in his mind, the talking machine. This is what Sousa had to say. These talking machines are going to ruin the artistic development of music in this country. When I was a boy, in front of every house in the summer evenings, you would find young people together singing the songs of the day or the old songs. Today you hear these infernal machines going night and day. We will not have a vocal cord left, Sousa said. The vocal cords will be eliminated by a process of evolution, as was the tail of man as he came from the ape. Now this is the picture I want you to focus on. This picture of young people together, singing the songs of the day or the old songs. The picture of people participating in the creation and the recreation of their culture. Sousa was right to fear the survival of that image of culture in the 20th century as technologies like vinyl and broadcast turned us into a passive couch potato culture. But he is wrong about the technologies of the 21st century. Technologies that are radically reviving the very conception of culture that he was celebrating. Let me give you 3 examples. I'm sure some of you in this room have seen this extraordinary performance of Pachelbel's Canon in D. It's on YouTube. Since it's been posted, more than 70 million people have seen it. This performance is a performance of a young kid with a baseball cap and a guitar, and his own variation on this classic. Just give me 1 second. That there have been literally hundreds of people who have taken the same idea and produced their own variations that have, of course, spread across the same platform. But here's another example. Some kid took music and these videos and put them together to produce this.
Soldier boy, tell me. Hey, I got this new damn piano called Soldier Boy. You gotta punch it in, crank back 3 times from left to right.
That then inspired someone else to produce this.
Soldier Boy, tell me. Hey, I got this new damn piano called Soldier Boy. You gotta punch it in, crank back 3 times from left to right.
Which then inspired someone else to produce this.
Soldier Boy, tell me. Hey, I got this new damn piano called Soldier Boy. You gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right.
Here's another example. some fan of the Brat Pack took the Brat Pack videos and set it to this remix music video of the song Listomania. Very powerful music video, well shot. That has begun to inspire. So a bunch of people from Brooklyn decided they'd try to make the same video. Anything that Brooklyn can do, San Francisco can do better. Romanticized when he spoke of the young people getting together and singing the songs of the day of the old songs. But rather than getting together in a corner in the backyard, what they do is they get together on a free digital platform that links people from around the world and inspires creativity from people around the world. It is because of the architecture of this platform and because of laws which enable the freedom of this platform that this creativity can happen. And if the same rules that apply to old forms of media were applied to this platform, it would make this creativity impossible. Indeed, YouTube uploads in every 1 minute 20 hours of video. Indeed, in the time since I began my talk today, there has been more than 12 days of video uploaded to YouTube. Any rule that would require pre-clearance of that content would be a rule that required sites like YouTube to close. That is the good that has come from this infrastructure of creativity. But there has been bad as well. The piracy, the peer-to-peer piracy of copyrighted works by copyright owners who don't authorize their sharing, no doubt that has produced harm. There's extreme statements of the harm. The RIAA has, in my view, an unfounded claim of $12 billion in economic losses every year. But you don't have to believe the extremes to recognize that even though digital sales has radically increased in the last 5 years, the music market as a whole has decreased. And while it would be corruption to use government power simply to protect an industry, in my view, it is perfectly appropriate for the government to worry about the harm to artists. And there is no doubt, in my view, that at least this piracy has harmed at least some of these artists. That is a bad from this platform of innovation. Or think about it in the context of journalism. There's extraordinary good from the internet for journalism. It comes from the innovation, the diversity of new forms of journalism, both professional, as sites enable an extraordinary collection of journalistic articles accessible at a single click, and amateur, sites like Wikipedia, or blogs that eventually themselves become commercial because the demand for them is so great. All of this is good, but there is bad here too. The rise of the free media, the free access to journalism, no doubt puts pressure on a certain kind of journalism that is essential for democracy, investigative journalism. If our image of great journalism is set by examples like this, the New York Times publishing the Pentagon Papers, it represents a brief moment in the history of the press where the press had a spine, where the press stood up to government, and the courts defended their courage. This moment had a profound effect on our imagination of what the press could be, and a profound effect on history.